So he describes the game and the hostility of the two teams, throwing the ball around here on, I guess it's around page 7 or 8 in your book. There were 15 of them that came in, the other ultra-Orthodox Hasidic group. Were dressed all alike, white shirts, dark pants, white sweaters, small black skull caps or little round caps that they wear on their head. The Orthodox manner, hair closely cropped except for the side curls that tumble down in long curls at the side of their head. And they all wore traditional undergarment, the tzitzit as he calls it, T-Z-I-T-Z-I-T, the fringes. It's the Hebrew word for fringes. The long fringes appended to the four corners of their garment. And all this is based on in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, if you read it closely, about fringes and things of that kind. We didn't wear these things. They did, so they are much more, if you like, ultra-Orthodox than we were, according to the narrator. So the game goes on, and to make a long story short, it's a very good beginning, I think. This Danny guy can't do anything wrong. Who's that one batting, he asks at one point, one of his friends. That's Danny Sanders, he's introduced to you. Who is he? He's Reb Sanders' son. Reb Sanders is the leader of their movement, something like Elijah Muhammad, if you like, for black Muslims. Though not with the following that Elijah Muhammad probably had, because there were small little groups of these Hasidic people, and depending on what town they came from, in Russia or Poland or Romania or someplace like that, they'd all have a different Reb or Rebbe leading them. So this is one little group that this Danny Sanders was a part of. He was a good deal taller than I, and in contrast to my somewhat, what page is this, 12? Taller than I, and in contrast to my somewhat ordinary but decently proportioned features, his dark hair, his face seemed to have been cut from stone. His jaw and cheekbones were made of jutting hard lines. His eyes were deep blue, sparse tufts of hair on his chin. So he describes him, his hair the color of sand. He moved in a loose-jointed, disheveled way, all arms and legs, talking Yiddish to his teammates. This guy is almost the perfect person. Have you, when you went to school, high school or wherever, do you remember, probably grammar school or elementary school more, middle school, there was always some people who were perfect, who did everything right, who couldn't fail, who were the best athletes, who were the best students, and so on and so forth. They seemed like they were naturally born to doing this. Often it was never yourself. It was always somebody else. I don't know. Have you encountered such people when you were young? There are people like this who shine when they're young, particularly when they're very young, and are like the incarnation of perfection in almost all things. Well, that's Danny Sanders. For Reuben, at least Reuben's view of it. Later on, we'll see that he has feet of clay, he's not so perfect and so on. But in Reuben's first encounter with him, Reuben sees himself as what? A jerk, by comparison to this Danny guy who's all things perfect. But rather cruel, too, in Reuben's eyes. A little bit overbearing and capable of cruelty as far as he perceives it. What's the cruelty that this Danny is capable of? He thinks that Danny purposefully hits the ball. He's so perfect that he can hit a ball so hard and aim it at at Reuben's face and knock his glasses and break his glasses. In those days you had the glasses with glasses and not plastic and unbreakable things that we have now. You could get hit by a ball and the glass could go in your eye, which is what happens. So he thinks that Danny did this on purpose. Okay, I believe that Danny probably wanted to hit him if he could, but to be able to aim it right at his face and hit him in the eye and knock his glasses out and bang it into his eyes, I think is beyond the perfection of even this Danny chap. But that's why he thinks he's cruel. I don't think that Danny's particularly cruel. He just plays hard and this Reuben guy got on his nerves. So it's like you're sliding into a base and you slide into the base with your cleats up, you know. You just want to teach the guy a lesson if you can. And Danny was a hotshot. He's also a natural, he's laid back. So anyway, this is quite a good introduction. Have you read this? Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Reads pretty good. It's fun to read. People who read this book actually like it, so I hope that you'll take the time to